Hello, and thank you for joining us today. This is Tammy Bonnell, CEO of Exit Realty Corp International, where I'm going to be speaking on a topic that I happen to love, developing your inner entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are different. Entrepreneurs think differently. And what my goal is out of today is to give you a few things, a few bullet points. If you have a pen and paper, I highly recommend that you take notes. We all remember what we write down. At the end, I'll give you my contact information so that if you have any questions, please feel free. We have 30 minutes to greatness here, so I want to make sure that I get out as much information as humanly possible, but you'll get my contact information in case you want to reach out and ask any questions. My goal is really simple today. I want to give you enough information, some food for thought, to help you to think differently. I know that there are some people that are already entrepreneurs on the line, people in sales, people that are employees, and really what I want is to have that mindset that entrepreneurs have, that successful people have. Successful people are habitual by nature. They get into the right habits, and they actually keep those habits. And so some of the ways to get into those habits we're going to go through, some of those exercises, but also some of those exercises in order to build a really solid foundation in starting to build and grow a business. You get what you focus on, so we're going to focus on a couple of really strong things to help you grow, and the goal is to bring out the best in yourself. In any business, you have to find a need that you can fill better than anyone else, and you need to fit the demographics of where you are. Sounds like a lot, and I'm going to simplify it. I had a few times in my lifetime that I witnessed companies that launched a little too soon. High-tech companies before the world was ready to be high-tech. Their ideas were wonderful. The products that they were creating were wonderful, but they actually ran out of money before they had an opportunity to excel because they launched a little too early. We've seen people that have done the same thing that have launched a little bit too late when the market was already saturated. That being said, there's always an opportunity for a better company or a better way of doing things. But being aware of all the marketplace around you, being aware of what the competition's doing, what the needs are of the consumer that's around you, those things are really important. I'm going to give you a plan today that you can utilize and follow by utilizing 8 hours a month to work on your business, not in it. You're actually going to be working on your life and your business, not in it, and really having that perspective. So here goes. Having that view, literally that perspective of the entire industry you're in, that perspective of where it is, where it was, where it's headed, and seeing where trends are and what those opportunities could be going down the road. Those things are really important to be aware. Part of my job is to be a good forecaster for our organization, so to stay ahead of that curve for our people and give them those opportunities. If you are an entrepreneur, that is absolutely part of your job. So looking for resources that will give you the 30,000-foot view. Typically, that's a national, sometimes an international, sometimes just a North American look. But that perspective that shows coast to coast, what are those trends that are happening, what are those opportunities? For most businesses, the Wall Street Journal is a terrific resource. There are an awful lot of national magazines and opportunities for information, and some terrific national websites that you can go on to get that 30,000-foot view. And really what you want to do is print what's pertinent to you. Print or save what's pertinent to you that you can highlight and collect for information that might even be something that's future tense for you or an idea that you want to track, but keep that information that's pertinent to you. Next you have the 2,000-foot view, and that's usually a state or a province. That whole area, encompassing the whole area. You might be doing business in that entire area, or your business might be a little bit more local, a little bit more street level, but you still want to know what the trends are. Are there any changes that are happening in the industry in your market? Are there any changes that are happening in those communities, in that environment, that might impact your business? And I'm going to give you a couple ways to have a 2,000-foot view and a street level view that aren't just looking at resources that we'll hit on next, but have that perspective. And that street level view is really your own community, your own marketplace, your own area that you are going to represent, whether you're selling out to that area, clients are coming into that specific area, but that street level view of what's being accepted where you are, and certainly that perspective on yourself. What are you good at? Who is your client or community? Are you currently doing what it is you want to open up into as your own business? If you're in sales, you're in your own business. But no matter what your job is, if you can get a perspective on yourself and we can grow that perspective to think like an entrepreneur, how can I get more and better out of today? How can I get more and better and address what it is that my company is looking for so that I am absolutely adding value every single day that I show up? Will really make a difference and really get recognized. So getting that 2,000-foot view, that street level view, and even helping you with a perspective on yourself, I like to call it a dirty dozen, a dozen people that work on your business, not in it. Trusted advisors, people that will tell you the truth, people that will help give you advice. I'll use the real estate industry as an example since that's the business that I happen to be in. So in the real estate industry, those people that would be a dirty dozen: mortgage companies, banks, appraisers, home inspectors, insurance companies, maybe even newspapers, but looking at news outlets, but looking at the information that all of them can provide. Make sure that those people that you connect with have an excellent reputation, are forward-thinking, and are really good at their job. I highly recommend that you Google them, you friend them on Facebook, you connect with them on LinkedIn so you know a little bit more about them, because it's all about building that solid relationship. You want to build a network that works with you and for you, that you're adding value to all the time. You know, when you think of typical networking, people think of handing somebody a business card. What do you do with that business card and where do you connect? But if I actually add value to you, not just my business card, I add value to you. I send you an article from a magazine because you mentioned something that was important to you. I connect with you and connect you with opportunities. If I add value and I find out what's really important to you, it's going to be dramatically different. So my recommendation, connect with these people. Tell them that you really value the consumer, you want to make sure that you're serving them to the best of your ability, and you'd love to help this individual grow. You'd love it if they'd share their business plan with you. Any changes that happened in their industry over the last year, any changes they think are going to happen down the pike, and connect together so that you can serve the consumer better. Make sure that you keep track of what it is that is important to this person and what it is they're trying to accomplish, and then make sure that every time you're connecting with them, you're adding value, and share your business plan too. These people are good for personal referrals. These people are good for connections. These people are good for advice. And the whole thing is adding value. If you could get a bonus based on how well liked and how well respected you were in your industry, in your community, what would that bonus be? Because these people can absolutely add that. They'll give you a perspective. They'll tell you what's going on with the competition. They'll tell you what's going on a statewide basis. They'll tell you or a province basis. They'll tell you what's going on in the community, anything that's changing in the other companies, so that you're really aware of it and you're not blindsided. You can really make it a focus. If you can think of, you're building your business, and your business is the windshield of your car, and your competition is in the rearview mirror, and that's not a derogatory statement. It's the fact that you want to make sure that you're paying attention going forward and that your focus is always going forward and building, but you do want to know what they're doing and be aware of it so that you're not blindsided by anything, that you don't have any blind spots, and they'll be able to help you to continue to do that. This is probably the #1 thing that I would advise to everybody in any type of business, and that is to have a 6-week action plan. It will enhance your life. It will enhance your business. You will see dramatic changes. The reason I recommend a 6-week action plan is because a habit takes 3 weeks, so that if I do something over a 6-week time frame, I'm really ingraining those habits. In fact, if you try this a couple months in a row, and I will describe the 6-week action plan for you. If you try this a couple months in a row, you won't be able to stop yourself from doing it, because so many good things will be happening in your business and in your life. Book off 4 hours once a month to work on your life, not in it, on your business, not in it, and make it a focus. So halfway through the month, book off 4 hours. I don't care if it's 8 to 12, 12 to 4, 4 to 8 to midnight. It doesn't matter what the time frame is. Book it off without interruptions. Get a day timer. And I know that we all have calendars that are on our smartphones. We all have calendars that are on our pads, everything that's in front of us. But you remember what you write down. So a day timer that you can literally open up at a glance, write things in. It really does connect into your mind better when you get that opportunity to write it down. But either way, make sure that you have something that you can really glance at in advance. So in 4 hours, you're going to work on your business, not in it. Take a schedule of events for all of the people that are in your dirty dozen, the important people that are in your life, the important people that are in your business, the appointments, the events that you have that are coming up, and really look, how can I maximize on that opportunity? Who should I be talking to? Who should I be inviting? What do I need to learn before I get there? What do I need to be prepared for? Every meeting you have, I recommend you Google the person first. If there's anybody that's part of your dirty dozen that knows them, have a conversation with them about them so that you can get a little bit more intel, so that that person that's in front of you, it matters. Everybody wants to be somebody. If you can remember that, I wish I could remember where I heard it, but truly everybody wants to be somebody. So if I make that person that I'm in front of the focus, the highlight, and I really value that person's time when I get in front of them, and I make sure that I maximize on this opportunity, I'm absolutely going to get better results. Focus on what you want to get out of that meeting. What is it that you want to have happen? It's all about the end game. What do you want to have happen out of that meeting or that opportunity? If you plan in advance for everything, a holiday party, an event you're going to speak at, an opportunity that you're going to have a meeting in your office, and you're going to get in front of everybody, and you really decide you're going to maximize on this. This is going to be a terrific brainstorming session. You're going to do the homework. You'll be amazed at what you're going to accomplish. I put together all the books on CD that I'm going to be listening to, or the things that I'm going to be listening to and setting up on my phone to listen to on planes. I put together all the information that I've done for homework and highlight it for where it is that I'm going to travel to. I put together all the books that I want to read, the things that I really want to be aware of and learn, that schedule of events of the things that are going on in the lives of the people that I love, the schedule of events for everybody that's involved in my organization, and those dirty dozen, so that I really can make sure that they get added value from me every time I'm in front of them. You'll start to see some serious changes, and you'll also alleviate an incredible amount of stress. I have a couple of speaking engagements, national speaking engagements coming up at the end of this week, and planning in advance. When I go there, I'm going to meet with a group of individuals that I really admire and that I really want to connect with because I planned it in advance, putting that in as part of the 6-week action plan. You could have a very important appointment on next week, and if you plan it in advance and say, how do I want this to go? What do I want the results to be? Who should I be having a conversation with? You'll really be able to maximize on all of your time. So if you do nothing else, I highly recommend a 6-week action plan. I wanted to touch base on some resources that are really terrific, and this, for me, a lot of this is that this is somebody that does not have a vested interest in your company. A lot of these people do not have a vested interest in your company. They have advice from the outside looking in, and there's some sage wisdom involved. There are small business councils involved in an awful lot of universities that you can reach out to. Typically, they're successful entrepreneurs that have done a terrific job in what they're doing that will give you advice that you can bounce things off of. There are great opportunities. Just check with the universities that are around you. Ask around to find out about that. And it is really terrific to have those connections. And they're people that don't personally know you, so they don't have a preconceived notion. They're just literally listening to the facts so they can really be objective. The Small Business Administration, SBA.gov. If you haven't visited in a while, I highly recommend you go again. They are doing a lot of brand new things. They're doing microloans. Used to be they had a limit of $150,000 or above. They're doing microloans. They're shifting a lot of the way that they lend money. They have specific groups and organizations. If there's an opportunity for you, you're a female, you're a minority, there are a lot of other windows there that are opportunities for you so that they can be fair for everyone. It's a really great organization, but they also provide a tremendous amount of information just on SBA.gov on their website so that you can look at things. It might be just one more thing that you just wanted to reconfirm of something that you're looking at doing. SCORE is a group of retired executives, and SCORE is terrific for being able to get free advice, get somebody to bounce things off of that has had the experience in the past. It really works terrific. And then connect with other professionals doing it right. They might not be in your own backyard. It might be somebody that's across the country or in the state next door. But connecting with those other professionals that are doing it right, that have done a terrific job. Maybe they give you an opportunity to put a niche into your business. Maybe they're better at being organized. Maybe they've already made it to the point that they're making a profit. Or maybe they've added some things or done things from a different angle than you do. And it's another person to just bounce things off of so that you really can be organized out of the gate and that you can really fine-tune. For everybody that already is an entrepreneur, by the way, every single bit of these resources is a good idea to visit or revisit. I'm sure that not one single person is living to 100% of their capacity. And sometimes just hearing something from a different angle makes all the difference in the world in growing you as an individual. So I want to go through some rules to attract good business and great people. These are things that I've run into that really help you to become a leader, really help you to demonstrate you're being a leader, and they're just good habits to be in on a regular basis. But we get what we focus on. So if we put it in front of ourselves and we just make up our mind, this is something I'm going to start incorporating into my day. This is something I'm going to incorporate into my business. It really will make a huge difference. First, perception is reality. How are you perceived? I recommend that you connect with a handful of people that you really value their opinion, and you ask them what their perception is of you. We get one chance at a really good first impression, and I'm not just talking about the way you dress, although it's probably part of the equation. How you dress, how you deliver, how you speak, how you focus. I've seen people when they really need the money act nervous and urgent, and that comes across instead of that confidence. Do you deliver confidence? Are you delivering what that person is looking for? Are you making that focus about them? What is it you're doing? I know that I've had a few times when I've asked people about the perception of me when through recessions or those kind of things, and driven has been the first word out of several people's mouths, so that I've had to kick it back a notch and really realize I want to make sure that I have a solid impact on them and that they're comfortable and that they're going to be able to go forward. And if driven is the first word, it's not going to be in that direction. Before you do the exercise, write down how you want to be perceived and write down how you perceive yourself. Really take a good check, good look at yourself, and determine, is this how I want to deliver myself to the public? If I want to move up in my business, if I want to have ownership, is this how I would deliver myself? Who are those people that I admire? And what is it about them that I admire that I can incorporate into myself? Develop everyone, even if they're your competition. Everyone, if you see an opportunity for somebody to shine, if you see an opportunity to help somebody do a little bit better at anything, they come in and make a presentation, and you know if they just had added one more sentence, or if they just delivered one more thing slightly differently, whatever it is that you think you could do to really help that person improve, I highly recommend it. It's incredibly rewarding, but more than anything, it's people will remember how you made them feel. And when you pay attention, it's one mouth, two ears, two eyes for a reason, and observe somebody, they know when they matter. Our founder of our company has an amazing knack for really observing and being able to come in, and whether it's a public speaking engagement or just an opportunity for some form of a connection, he has a real uncanny knack of being able to point out something that you could work on, and always doing it in a nice way, not meddling, not prying, but in a nice way. I care enough about you that I want to see this happen for you, and you know, this is just a little idea about something that I think could help. Catch people doing something good. I really feel that so many people don't do this often enough, but catch people doing something good. When you notice that somebody does a great job, I actually had a flight attendant last week in traveling that did the most amazing job, was humorous, professional, delivered to absolutely everybody. There were uncomfortable circumstances, inconvenient circumstances that had nothing to do with her, but she made it the most pleasant opportunity, and she really handled herself with such professionalism. And you know, going up and saying thank you. Well, you really did a great job. That was terrific. This was a great experience. Whatever it is, catching people doing something good as often as possible. The key, be genuine. Be very truthful and genuine. People can tell when you're being artificial. So don't do it repetitively. Just do it when you really see something that's going good. But if you make it part of your focus, it's amazing how much we get what we focus on. Share ways to help others improve. Share ways that they could have. Maybe it's a class they could take, a book you can share with them, a magazine article, the people that are in your Dirty Dozen, the people that you work with. Share opportunities and ways that you could help them improve. Maybe there's just a speaking class for them, an article you read that will really you think would just help them to come out of themselves a little bit. But share those ways every time you see the opportunity. Be mindful in business. Number one, being mindful shows that you have self-discipline. It demonstrates self-discipline. We need to be in control of our time and our actions. And when you're mindful in business, whether it's booking off blocks of time so that you're going to work on something for 30 minutes, an hour and a half, and setting a timer and really concentrating that this is the only thing I'm going to concentrate on, not getting caught up in busy work, not getting caught up in chatter, but really focusing. The more you demonstrate that self-discipline, the more other people are going to start to notice that you do. It'll also show where you prioritize. Behavior never lies. Richard Flint said that, and I'll never forget it. Behavior never lies. So how we behave is how we're going to be perceived. If I'm mindful in my business, I book off blocks of time. Show that what you're doing is valuable. Even if you have to put a note on your door that says, I'm busy between 9 and 12 getting X done, whether it's making prospecting calls or working on a project or whatever it is, we'll be happy to reach out to you at 12 o'clock or whatever the circumstances, putting that alarm on your phone. We get interrupted so often, and if you allow those interruptions, entrepreneurs don't return emails 24 hours a day. They don't jump on Facebook 24 hours a day. They take it in blocks of time so that they're in control, and if they're working on something or they're present in front of somebody, they're truly present. When you're in front of someone, that is the person that deserves your uninterrupted time, and that's the thing that really starts to add value. Connect people. It shows you care and it shows you listen by connecting people, getting that opportunity. So often we see somebody and think, wow, that person would get along great with, whether it's one of your friends or somebody that's part of your Dirty Dozen or somebody else you work with that you think, gosh, those two people together would be like gasoline in a match. They would really accomplish great things. I'd love for you to brainstorm with this person. You're both so creative. I'd love for you to learn from this person. I'd love you to teach this person. Boy, would you be a terrific mentor for them. Whether it's business to business or person to person, those relationships will matter. Those people will remember that you connected because it's all about the experience. What did I experience and how did I feel? If we remember that, that is absolutely what happens out of being a core leader, and people will remember that, and you will see windows open for you. You will see opportunities open up for you in so many different directions just because you added value to someone else. But so always think about, how can I connect people? Leverage everything. Leverage your time, leverage your money, leverage your relationships so that you're maximizing on absolutely every opportunity. Entrepreneurs are strategic by nature. Having a set strategy, I am going to leverage my time so that if I'm going in one direction, I'm going to accomplish everything that's heading in that direction, even if that's just running errands. I'm going to leverage my marketing so that it'll be similar enough. I'm going to make sure that everything's a call to action. I'm going to track all of my results so that I know what I'm getting for results out of everything so that I can really maximize on the money I'm spending, on the time I'm spending, on who I'm marketing to, on who I'm connecting with. Leverage absolutely everything. If there's another place you can put that so that you have public relations, that you have press releases, and those press releases are going out in several different directions, think about, how can I leverage everything? Who else should this be in front of? Who else should I connect with this? Make sure that you're absolutely leveraging everything. When you're on your 6-week action plan, Look through everything. Am I leveraging this relationship? Am I maximizing? Am I giving this person incredible opportunities? Am I leveraging this meeting? Am I really maximizing? Have I done all the things that I should do? Have I leveraged my marketing? What am I getting for return on investment, or am I just lighting it on fire? Are there guerrilla marketing that I can do that's free of charge to enhance this, that I can put everything that I've sent out in marketing through social media and all sorts of other areas so that they see it constantly and consistently? Truly, you're marketing to yourself and back to everybody else. Thank everyone. This is really taken so lightly. And this is November. It's perfect timing. In the United States, it happens to be Thanksgiving month. And that opportunity to say thank you to people for whatever they've done to help you throughout the year, I find even as you get towards the holidays in December, it's a great opportunity year-end, regardless of what the structure of holidays is, that opportunity to say thank you to everybody that had a positive impact on your life this year. A positive impact personally, they helped you financially, they helped your family financially. Be specific when you say thank you. They taught you something and you're actually utilizing it and it's taking you further. Thank absolutely everyone. It works well to send an email, to send a private message on Facebook, to thank somebody. Try and thank some people publicly so that you're posting it on Facebook. This person had an impact. You're posting it on Twitter. This person had a profound impact on my life in a positive way. Thank you. But send a personal thank you note. People save them. They hold on to them for a long period of time. They will give you an amazing return on investment. They go into your memory bank as well as theirs. They remind you, and they give you a feel-good state, which also gives the other person a feel-good state. But I'll tell you, even financially, they're very beneficial. I wrote a thank you note one time that to somebody that went above and beyond, and that thank you note earned and got back literally $500,000 worth of good ink for our company throughout a calendar year, because that thank you note got passed from person to person to person. And the number one key thing everybody said is nobody sends thank you notes anymore. Who did that? And you know, if you're thinking about them even for yourself, the number of them you have compared to the number of things that you do. Always be genuine, though. Don't ever send something that you don't mean, and be specific. Not just thank you. Be specific so that it absolutely has an impact. Don't forget, profit is never a dirty word. We do this for a living, right? You're in business for a living. And even if you're going to put it straight towards pure philanthropy, the idea is to constantly fine-tune and improve what it is you're doing. You should have a financial statement, a profit and loss on yourself, even if you don't own your own business now. Where am I compared to this time last year? Look over the past year. What did you do right? What could you improve on? What are the things that you could fine-tune? What are the things that you could save money on? What are the things that you probably should have spent a couple of bucks on so that you would get a return on that investment? And plan in advance. This is the perfect time of year to plan in advance, not only to finish 2014 strong, but to excel in 2015. Put it in writing. Put it in front of you what it is that you want to do. How much more growth do you want to have in 2015 compared to this year? Put it in front of you so that it's in front of you. I don't care if it's on a board in front of you so that you have some form of a vision board. But put those targets in front of you, and during your 6-week action plan, you review it. Where am I in accordance to the plan? What needs to change, me or the plan? The problem is most people change the plan when they really need to change themselves. But if you have it in front of you, you will constantly fine-tune and improve what it is you're doing, and you'll get what you focus on. In fact, you'll probably exceed what you're focused on because you're staying it as a focus. Don't justify that it's going to get to this. People spend more time working on what they're going to do on vacation to plan a 1-week or 2-week vacation than they do on planning their life and planning their business. That needs to shift, and this is definitely one of the ways that you can do that. Connect with others doing it right. Reach out every time you see somebody doing something great. I don't care if it's a press release that came that somebody just won an award, you got you witnessed somebody doing something terrific, you went to a national event and saw somebody receiving an award, or you have somebody in the town next door or the next state, everybody doing it right. Reach out to those people. Some of those people you'll be connected with and staying connected with on a regular basis. Don't forget, Always add value. Don't think about where you are in position if that person has a company that is so much larger than what yours is, or they're doing something that seems to be so much bigger. Every person can add value to another person's life. Every person can add value. And think about it. Who learns more, the teacher or the student? The teacher every single time. So you'll actually get better at what you're doing by adding value to somebody else. Write down a list. While we're sitting here, write down a list of those people that you should be connecting with. Write down that list of the people you should be thanking. Perfect exercise for immediately following this webinar. Last but not least, it's having that mindset of having a compound interest in people. I still have a passbook savings account. I don't even know if they utilize them everywhere, but it's a savings account that you can literally open up the book and they stamp it and it shows across in a different color the interest that you've accrued. If you can start thinking about that, and you can see it in all of your accounts, whether you're looking at it online or whatever, and you can see the interest you've accrued and how much you've grown. If you can start thinking before you get in front of anyone, no matter who that person is, that you're adding value. People remember how you made them feel. Keep adding into that bank. You like them, you don't like them, you respect them, you don't respect them. Add value and add compound interest. You never know what the circumstances are for someone else in their life. Keep thinking, I'm adding interest to that person. I'm adding compound interest to that person. If you could get a bonus based on how well liked and how well respected you were in the marketplace, in your industry, as a person, as a leader, what would it be? Because that's exactly what you're doing. You're adding this compound interest to everybody, and it will turn out and come back to you in ways that you never even expected. That bonus will flow back to you from having compound interest in others. I know you could have been anywhere else over this last half hour, and you chose to be here. I want to thank you very much for that on behalf of Exit Realty Corp International and myself. This is my contact information. If you have any questions, you have any suggestions, you want to share something you're working on, I'd love to hear from you. I promise I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I always return my emails, and I look forward to connecting with you again. Thank you. Have a great week.